Hey guys, give me a second here, just trying to sort this damn thing out. Hey Crimson, how's it going? Hello Charmy, Bloody Mary, Teresa, Eugenia, Ian. I'm only going to do a short one tonight. Charmy, hello everyone. I just wanted to say one thing, yeah? Now, this is live, as you know, and as you just heard me, doing a live stream through a different way, you don't get any kind of like 30-second delay. So I'm going to count 4. You're going to see how quick that is. I'll see how quick that is. 1. I'll see how quick that is. 1, 3, 2, 4. 3, 4. Mind you, I get feedback though. So that's how quick it is. Probably get about 2 seconds delay, if that. The reason why I want to talk about dolls, yeah, because I know it sounds crazy. I've just been watching a video, and it is the video of the Revenge of Robert the Doll. The Revenge of Robert the Doll, right? Now, you know Robert the Doll is supposed to be a very haunted, crazy-ass doll that has caused people a lot of problems in the past. Okay. For you who don't know who Robert the Doll is, I'll quickly get a screenshot of one. Right. Actually, I don't know if I can do a screenshot on live. Let me see. No, I can't. Damn it. That's the problem with this channel. You can't do you can't do a screenshot. See, this ain't the real Robert the Doll. Oh, here we go. So I'll bring the camera over. So this is Robert the Doll, okay? Right, now, the real Robert the Doll is this one. And they made a film on that one, okay? Now, Robert the Doll is supposed to be very, very possessed. I don't know if there's a wiki for it. That's that one. See, the story behind the real one is that it's supposed to be very, very, very terrifying. I'm not going to go and read all through it and everything like that. With the other one, I want to show you this creepy ass motherfucker. Apparently, that one on the so-called movie, I may be wrong, but on the first movie they created, Robert the Doll was a killer. It killed people. Now, on the second movie, The Revenge of Robert the Doll, apparently a book was created by some guy which had spells in and were able to bring dolls to life, such as that Robert the Doll, plus there were some other dolls that he brought to life, and they killed people. In the movie, they killed people. Now, can haunted dolls really kill people? No. A ghost can probably kill someone. You know, they can drive you insane, so mad that you probably will end up committing suicide, because that's what happens in some kind of like situations I've heard of or seen on TV or on some kind of video. It's an haunted, well, not a haunted doll, but a ghost, if it's strong enough, may be able to will you into some kind of like state that you will go so mad that you'll commit suicide, either by hanging, drowning, electricity, slitting your throat, your wrists, drowning, whatever. Now, if a ghost can do that, and they can actually possess a doll and make a doll come to life, could the doll actually kill you? Now, to be honest with you, I don't really know. No, I've not really heard of any real true stories of a doll, actually jumping up, like Chucky, and coming up to you with a great big carving knife and stabbing you to death, I think, a spirit could possibly somehow bring a doll to life, but be only able to do limited things, such as like, which we've seen. You see my doll fall and move in the kitchen a couple of times, yeah? You've seen Simon James's video where the doll is sitting there and the head just turns like that. So how much energy does a spirit take to even make a doll move? No, even the most powerful spirit, being a poltergeist, could possibly make a doll get up and walk, but is it powerful enough to make a person or a doll kill a person? I don't know. I don't think it is that possible, to be honest with you. Hey Rose, fucking hell, a long time no see. So to be honest with you, I don't. If it was possible, I reckon it'd be like 5% out of 100 that a spirit may be able to possess a doll and get up and kill you. Now, hold on for one moment, yeah? Hold on. I need to go and get something. Maybe in a sec, just getting something. Right, okay. Yes, I'm getting the evil one out. Right, so we know a lot about this one, yeah? She's an evil cow. Apparently, there's an evil spirit attached to this, and that spirit killed several people. Now, could this spirit, if there is a spirit in there, which I believe there possibly is, because we've had a lot of communication through the Ouija board and through EVP and Ghostbox, could this spirit inside this doll actually make it stand up and start walking, and either jump up and strangle me, poke my eyeballs out, grab a knife if there's a knife or a pair of scissors around, and stab me. Fucking small doll. I don't think a spirit would be able to possess a small doll to get up and kill me. Now, this one, maybe so, because look how big he is. Can you imagine him walking? A bit like Chucky. And able to hold a knife in his hand and go and stab me. If there's a strong enough spirit, then yeah, I think maybe so. But it's going to have to be a big size fucking doll like him, maybe bigger for a spirit to, you know, possess the doll and have enough energy to make this doll get up and fucking come and kill me. You know? But with a small doll like this, I don't think so. Because how the hell is that going to carry a knife or a pair of scissors? Now maybe it might be able to hold a pen, a pencil, and prod me. But how much energy would it take for a spirit to even move its arm? How much energy would it take for this one to come along with a knife or something here and stab me? Or even strangle me? A fucking lot of energy, I bet. And it's got to be something which is very, 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 very strong, such as like the poltergeist kind of energy, where a poltergeist can pick up something and throw it across the room. So, can a doll be possessed by a spirit? Well, yeah, because we've seen dolls moving around, so they have been in some way influenced by a spirit to make it move. You know, like making the head move or something, or its arm move. Now, I've seen many videos where dolls have moved because like spirits have been able to manipulate that doll to move. You know, it might not have to go inside the doll to make it move. The energy around the doll might be able to make it move. So either way, you know, whatever energy it is, it's somehow manipulating the doll to move. But how much manipulation of the energy does it take for a doll to actually get up and start walking? How much energy would it take for a doll to get up and stab me? A fucking lot, I tell you, man. Unless you've got like 10 evil demonic spirits which are combining their energy to make this doll get up and start running after me, then maybe so. But for one spirit, I don't think so. Even a poltergeist wouldn't have enough energy to do that, I don't think. I'm going to sit up or down. So, is it possible for a doll to get up and kill you? Do you think a doll could get up and kill you? What do you reckon on a side chat? Do you think a doll could actually come up and kill you? Oh, I've seen that video of that woman actually walking with a doll, which she thinks or states is possessed by a very strong spirit. Now, the thing is that this doll will only walk with a woman. Any other person who touches the doll and tries to walk with the doll and won't walk with, it's just standing there dormant. So she must have a spirit that is strong enough to manipulate the doll to walk. How do we know that, to be honest with you, how do we know that, you know, any of the dolls are even really possessed with any spirits? No, we could be thinking out of our own imagination that, hey, that doll has got a spirit attached to it. Yeah, I'm not saying it's going to work. I very much saying it won't work. But how many times have we seen a K2 meter sitting on the doll, and we've asked questions saying, right, there's a spirit attached to the doll, can make that K2 meter go off. And some incredible chance the K2 will probably start flashing. Now, is that because there is a spirit attached to the doll that's making the K2 meter flicker? Is it something inside the doll, some kind of like metal, magnet, electronics that may be inside the doll that's actually setting it off? But even if so, then like, I know there's dolls which can move and talk, okay? Got a walking, talking dolls. So it's got mechanics in it. Now, if you put a K2 meter next to that doll, that K2 meter is definitely going to go off. Think about it. Even if the doll's turned on or off, you know, it's got to have some kind of mechanics in there to make that K2 meter go off. But if it hasn't got the mechanics in there, which this one hasn't, it's all plastic, and that K2 meter starts going off, what's setting it off? Are we telepathically sending our own EMF towards that doll to make the K2 meter go off? Or is it generally a spirit that is manipulating the doll and giving the doll energy to make the K2 meter go off? What if we had 3 K2 meters sitting right next to the doll, and we said to them, right, if there's a true spirit attached to that doll, make the middle one go off, and suddenly the middle one starts going crazy, and the other 2 on each side is not doing nothing. So we say, right, okay, can you not use the middle one? Can you use the one on the right? And suddenly the one on the right starts flickering, and the other 2 don't. So you're thinking, okay, so you've made those 2 go off. Can you make the one on the left go off? And suddenly that one starts going off, and the other 2 ain't. So you think, okay, now if you're a powerful enough spirit attached to that doll, can you make all 3 K2 meters go off, and suddenly all 3 go off? That's got to be a true attachment of a spirit to the doll. It's got to be. Because why would a K2 meters go off when you're asking them to set them off out of a certain particular K2 meter? No, me, Rose, Simon James, a few other people, Chris, we've all had dolls and we've had K2 meters sitting there, and they've been going off. Even when we ain't been asking questions, they've been going off. And when we start asking questions, sometimes that still go off and sometimes they won't go off. So what's actually making it go off? Is it really a spirit that's attached to the doll, or are we telepathically sending thoughts to the doll? We're sending our own energy to the doll and making the doll in some way make the K2 meter go off by a telepathic foreign energy. I'm probably talking a lot of shit to you guys, but hey, you know. Now, would it be crazy if that doll started moving? No, I put that doll straight as I can, right? But wouldn't it be crazy if I said to that doll, right, if there's spirit attached to you, doll, move. Move your arm. Move your leg. Stand up. Jump up and down of joy. Move your head. Now, they're not going to do it because possibly there's nothing attached to them dolls. Or they just don't have the energy to do it. Or they're just being plain ignorant and don't want to do it. As said many times before, we can't make spirits do what we request them to do. Because I don't think that's fair. Because those spirits were once human beings. It's like, you do it or you get out, you know. Don't play my game, then I won't play yours. You know, you do what I tell you to do, or I'll kick you out of my fucking house. You know, I'll get a priest around here and exercise your arse, you know, kind of thing. That's just like, not diabolical, but, you know, trying to provoke a spirit in a doll to do something. Not, you know, if they want to do it, they do it. If they don't, they don't. No, I've always said to my spirits, you know, do it free will. If you want to do it, do it. If you don't, don't. I'm not forcing you. And sometimes they will do things. Because maybe, for a couple of reasons, right, I'd do it to shut the guy up, you know. Let's just make the K2 meter flicker once or twice, and maybe that'll make him happy. Shut him up for a little while. Or, yeah, maybe they want to do it because they want to prove to you that they can do it. Or they just don't want to do it because they ain't got the energy to do it. And if they ain't got the energy to do it, they ain't going to do it. But I don't think, you know, I've got like 100 dolls. And yeah, I've had a few crazy things happen to some of the dolls. I even had various videos where my dolls are lining up K2 meters when I'm asking them to. You've seen it. But is that a real spirit attached to the doll? Or we send their telepathic energy thoughts to the doll to make it go off? You know, are we even not? It might not have been going to the doll. We might be sending the telepathic energy to the K2 meter to make it go off. Or it could be where we're generating our own EMF field that penetrates the K2 meter and makes it go off. I found out though, which is a bit unusual, that when you're talking about ghosts and spirits, you know, entities, and you do feel like, you know, there's something around, sometimes you do get that activity. You get more activity than you expect. But sometimes you don't get nothing. And I think sometimes if they feel like, you know, you're having a really good conversation regarding something about the paranormal and they want to kind of join in, they can't just get up and start talking. They probably think, well, you know, this guy is, you know, having a really good conversation. Let's let him know that we're here listening to him by interacting, either by making a doll move or the K2 meter go off. You might hear a disembodied voice. You know, if they're interested, they're going to do something. And even if they are interested, it doesn't mean that they're going to, you know, get up and wave their hands, go, hey, look, I'm alive. You know, I'm Chucky number 2. Ain't going to happen. Not unless it's a really strong, powerful spirit who wants to get up and fucking scare the shit out of you and make you have a heart attack. If that doll started getting up now, I would be shitting myself, yeah. But it'd be amazing because it'd be caught on video. And once it's caught on video, that's pure evidence. And people are going to, you know, either believe it or not believe it. Some people say, oh, like, you know, that's mechanical. It's going to get up, you know, it's got batteries in it. Not that one. You know, it's not one of those dolls, which has got strings and, you know, a puppet kind of doll. It's not that. But if that doll suddenly got up or started moving, that's because the spirit has attached itself and started making it move by using the energy around itself. Now, I've got, as I say, about 100 dolls, and probably about 20 of them I've had activity on. But it don't mean because I've had activity on those 20 dolls continuously. It doesn't, because, like, you know, some of those dolls, the spirits inside them will probably go dormant. They probably might think, well, you know, we've done that a little bit, now we're going to move on. And they probably crossed over and gone to heaven or gone to their family or something, yeah? I don't know how many dolls have still got active spirits to them. The only way I can find out is by going in there like I've done before and having the pendulum saying, are you active? Make it swing that way for yes or a circle for no. And if it swings left and right, then maybe it's a spirit saying, yeah, I'm here. But, you know, you can get false readings. K2 can give you false readings. So the point is, can a spirit attach themselves to a doll and make it get up and murder you? I don't think so. If there is a possibility, it's less than like 1%. You know, why would spirit want to even take their time to jump into a doll and get up and murder you, unless it's like some kind of demonic evil entity that is thriving to get you. And why is he doing it? Because maybe you just moved into his house and, you know, he's not happy. Maybe it's some other kind of dark entity that's been conjured up by witchcraft or wizardry or Satanism or something, and they've like conjured up a dark energy to make the doll get up and start lashing out at you. 1%, I reckon, out of 100. Now, a lot of these videos, I don't even believe, to be honest with you. You know, even the one with the lady walking the doll, that is kind of mind-boggling, because why would the doll walk with a woman who she's had that doll for many years, apparently, and every time someone else takes the hand of that doll, it doesn't move. Not one step. Is there some kind of trickery to it, or is it real? No, I do think there's some real stuff out there. I've seen some real stuff. You know, even Simon James's one, where the doll's head slowly and gradually turns round when he's doing an experiment. I think he was conjuring something up, yeah? That's crazy ass. There's no way a doll can just turn its head for no reason unless a spirit is doing it. You know, like, I'm going to jump in that doll, I'm going to make its head move, and hopefully Simon's going to turn around and he's going to scare the shit out of him, and maybe he's going to stop conjuring up, you know, dark energies. You know, he did stop after a while, Simon, which is a shame. I think he might start up again soon. I don't know. But what do you believe? You know, do you believe a doll can actually get up and lash out at you? Right, anyway, let's see what's going on here. Oh, I've got to go on to the other one. See what's saying in chat. Yeah, Robert, I think, is in Sachs thingy museum. Hello, Danny. Hello, Cameron. Just seeing what's been said. I don't have AC. How many times I've got to tell people I don't have AC? I've got a video up of me proving I don't have AC. I do not have AC. We in the UK do not have AC. Point blank, full stop. Just stop saying I've got AC when I don't have AC. No one's got AC. Ask Darren. Hey, LGM. I want to get back to Betsy, actually. Do another stream down there. Do the Jordan's Wood again. I need to talk to Aaron to find out when he's able to start driving again. Now the warmer weather's getting back. I don't know where Simon is. I think he just gave up for a while. I don't think he's coming back, actually. He did say he might come back, but no, he pops on time to time, but not regular. I do believe like spirits can go dormant. You know, they ain't going to be, like Rose said, like spirits do naff for months. Maybe it takes months for them to build up that bit of energy to even do anything, you know. You know, like some of the places in the world, the most so-called most haunted homes in the world have activity for a short while, then it all stops until someone comes in and starts conjuring up dark magic and then brings in the negative energies and gets rid of the positive energies or trap the positive energies. You know, how about 30 East Drive? Come on. 30 East Drive was active around about the 1950s, 1960s, or whatever it was, yeah? You know, there's big publicity over it, blah, blah, blah. It's all gone quiet. And all of a sudden, you know, it's an outburst again. Everyone wants to go and pay a visit and do investigations. Even Chris, Spirit Encounters, he went there. He paid money to do it. And he said it was a fucking total failure. So even the most haunted houses, whether it been East Drive or not, it's not always active. No way. I know Rose has a lot of activity in there, but I think sometimes it's not as active as it is sometimes. Like, you know, sometimes I think she has said sometimes it's a little bit more quiet. Because like even the most worst spirits, they're going to have to take a break to build up their energy. You know, so like, if like you've got fucking grizzly guts over there, grumpy ass, and he's causing a lot of activity, you know, where's he getting all this energy from? You know, he's got to kind of take it a little bit of a break to build up the energy, start up again, you know. So, you know, it's hard to say with Rose's house. But I think Grumpy, to me, I'm not saying it is, but, you know, Rose can tell me to shut my mouth up, but I don't think Grumpy is, like, active 24/7. No, no way. Probably active, like, half the day. And when she goes out, you know, it's all nice and quiet, building up these energy again for when she gets back and starts giving her grief again. Or, like, when she's sleeping, then, like, he might be a bit quiet. Because don't get, ain't just Grumpy, there's a few spirits there. dark entities that causes problems. So if Grumpy ain't doing his fair share, it's one of the others. And when they stop because they need to build up their energy, Grumpy will start up again. So I think they're taking turns, put it that way. I was going to ask Rose about that, but I don't think she's going to let us do it. I think she's sending them out anyway, so I don't know what's going on. Well, if you're getting a job, maybe you can come up sometime this week or next week, so we can go and do some investigations, Aaron. You know, still need to do Wimbledon Common, Windmill, that big cemetery you said in Croydon near Shooters Hill we want to do again. Remember, we done that and we was in there for over an hour. The one where I was reading stories that children part of the grave, and the only reason why we left a bit abruptly was because we started seeing shadows like shooting across the trees. So we need to go back there. I want to do a nighttime EVP session on that soldier statue. So that's another one we need to do again. And Jordan's Wood I need to do again. Definitely Jordan's Wood. Get Aaron and Warren, and get Warren to take us to that bit where those wooden statues were made, that Viking one I think it was, and the Spitfire. I reckon there's going to be activity there, definitely. No, it's not going to be concentrated on one part. I reckon those woods has got a lot more activity than we think it's got. Because how many people used to live there in the olden days? You know, there's even craters where the German bombs dropped, you know, in the woodlands, and I think there might have been a cave or something there, weren't there? I think I've left one of my lights. So yeah, I've left one light in the living room. You know, a lot of people must have died there if they was taking shelter from the German bombs. So what else is there? Oh, that's why we want to come up there, Rose. I want to fucking confront Grumpy myself. No, he wasn't a what's name spirit. He was like probably something conjured up. But yeah, that's all I was going to say really about, you know, how dolls, like, you know, I don't believe they can get up and like attack you and kill you. Like, you know, some of these movies are coming out, it's just like fantasy world, isn't it, really? Unless one of them got up and started walking towards me and jumping on me and trying to strangle me, then yeah, fair enough. We can say, well, yeah, a spirit can actually take possession of a doll and make that doll. Well, it's not the doll that's killing you or trying to kill you, it's a spirit that's using the doll as a vessel. And the doll is jumping on you, strangling you or stabbing you via the dark energy that's manipulating the doll to do it. So anyway, actually I might leave him in here tonight. But this one can go back in a box, and we will be doing a session with this one again soon. And the reason why I bind her up, I bind you in the name of Jesus Christ. The reason why I bind her up because she likes being bound up for one thing, yeah. Until it stops the energy coming from this doll, if there's any energy. You know, the energy could leak out, and, you know, because I've had the doll out, she might be flying around here, not being bound up, I don't know. But I'm going to put this one back. Stop doing that, you. Get in there, we can go to bed. Right, I'm just going to make myself a cup of coffee. What do I play to me? See, this one won't even sit up unless I kind of like wedge him up somehow. So I've even lost the K2 already. I don't think I put it with that doll just now. Oh, it's on the floor. Stick this behind him. Right. Keep them on the K2 meters. Let me know they go off. I doubt they will, but I'm just going to make a coffee. What are you doing, cat? So, as I say, the reason why I've done this here tonight is because I was watching Robert, The Revenge of Robert the Doll. Now, I watched over half the movie, yeah, and it's all about how Robert came to be as he was. Like, you know, gives you a little bit of, in the movie, it gives you a little bit of the past where the guy's making a doll. Then it tells you a bit about how the doll is actually coming alive, and some guy wrote in a book, and in this book were these spells, and by saying the spells and touching the doll and reading the spell, yeah, make the dolls come alive. Now there's a bit on the movie where the old man who had the 3 dolls and the book, the 3 dolls was in like this box thing, and all of a sudden these dolls have got out, and they're on the train, right? They're on the train, and there's a guy sitting on his table. He's just got served his food, his knife and fork, right? And Robert is under the table, and he kind of prods this guy, and the guy goes, ouch, and he goes to turn around, looks under the table, doesn't see nothing, yeah? And Robert was there at the time, but when he looks under, Robert's gone. When the guy looks back up, his knife's gone. So he's looking around, thinking, oh, must have dropped on the floor. So he's looking down, and one of the other dolls, like the clown one, suddenly is like at the table level and pushes a fork. Now, behind the doll, you can see people on the movie sitting at the table eating. Now, surely they would have seen a fucking doll near the table taking the fork, but that's the way the movie was. And I thought, what a load of bollocks. What a load of fucking bollocks this movie is. And I stopped it and I went and played some gaming, online gaming, just Survive Gaming. Because it is a total load of bollocks. You know, how can people not see a doll walking around on the train? I can understand if it's like going all under the tables, but you've got carriages, and like where the tables are, you've got like a little separator. So any of a doll was to go under a table, it would have to walk onto the aisle and run the separator and then under the table again. So unless these people are completely blind and oblivious to, you know, not seeing a doll, because if it was like Robert, which was under the table at first, then you got the clown doll, which is second, and no one saw those 2 dolls, what happened to the third one? Is the third one still in the box with the old man? I don't know, because I didn't watch the rest of it. The movie was a lot of shite. No, I had to stop watching it. It was that crap. Some people might sit there and watch it, but I ain't going to watch it anymore. It's just a lot of crap. But then I thought about it, like, you know, sitting there playing a gaming, and I thought, you know, what is the possibility of a doll really coming to life like that and walking around? Unless you've got a real dark entity that's doing it, or you've got some kind of spell that's been put onto the doll that's making it move, then that's another possibility. But what is the chance of that happening? 1 in a million, probably. I don't know. So that's why I thought I'd do this topic. You know, now that, you know, his face, his mouth doesn't open, right? It's sealed. It's plastic. But what if suddenly, somehow, that face is manipulated and he starts talking and you can see his mouth moving. That'd be fucking like, whoa. I'll be shot. I'll be fucking out that door so quick. But hey, it'll be videoed. And that's why I do this, to video any evidence we can get. So if that doll suddenly moves, then what's made it move? Some people just say, well, oh, well, like, you know, someone might have been there and like tugged the blanket. But then you would see the blanket being tugged. Or, you know, someone might say, well, the cat's behind it. Well, if the cat's on a chair, you see the cat, wouldn't you? Oh, well, you had like string or a piece of rope. But then you would see me pulling it. You know? And I wouldn't do that anyway. If that moves, it moves because something's manipulating it to move. Like a spirit. Whether being good or bad. Or it could just be sitting there and a slight vibration could make it move. Now, if I was to bang the bed, which I'm doing, you can just see that arm over there. His right arm just barely moving, but you hear me banging. So, you know, but if it suddenly started moving by itself right now, and his arm lifted up, then that's possibly some kind of like spiritual interaction with the doll. I'm not saying the doll's going to be you know, like it's got a ghost in it, a spirit inside it. Maybe the spirit might just come along and move his foot up by using the energy that we cannot see, or might move his hand, or be crazy if his hood suddenly, you know, because he's got a hood on, be crazy if you suddenly see his hood being pulled up and put on his head. But it ain't going to happen. So I ain't got strong enough spirits here to do it, for one thing. And I don't think they'd do it because they probably know they'd scare the shit out of me. But you know, if it did scare the shit out of me, it'd be amazing to see it, because then I'll have pure proof, evidence that it can be done. But it won't happen because they just don't have the energy. So, like, you know, I'm not saying that all dolls can do things. Like Rose said, like her dolls, their appearance change. You know, I have actually seen a doll appearance change once, you know, by looking at it, and it does look kind of like, I don't know, it's like where we kind of just imagining that we're seeing their face change. It's like when you look in the mirror, when you're doing a sky mirror, people say you look in the mirror long enough, your profile changes because the spirit is using your face to change your profile in some way. Or they're reflecting their image through your face into the mirror, right? So maybe they could be doing that to a doll and making a doll kind of like change its appearance in some way. But is that our mind making us think that we're seeing the doll actually change? Or is the doll really changing because the spirit is doing it? Both a possibility. You know, we could be imagining, we may not be imagining, and it could be happening. I rather believe that a doll appearance could probably change than an actual doll getting up and walking up to you and strangling you or stabbing you. You know, like, look at his face now. You know, it's like a cheeky smirk. Whether it suddenly went and all angry kind of looking, you know, demonic kind of looking, that would be scary as hell. And why would they do that? Why would they want a doll to look even more scary? You know, I've seen some scary dolls. Yeah, Rosie's got one or two scary dolls as well. Black-eyed one, or the one without eyes. You know, why do people even make dolls look really scary? Is it, just mainly trying to make you scared, or they do it because like people like scary things? I don't know, but I've seen a few scary dolls around, on the internet. And there's even one I've seen that I didn't even like the looks of. And I didn't even buy it. So I didn't like the looks of it. I didn't feel like there wasn't so much the energy, it's just I didn't like the look of the doll. And it was two dolls actually. The guy got them up at the second-hand store. I think he might have sold them by now, but there's two small dolls. And, their profile was like kind of like an evil grin. And there's a male and female. I was going to buy them, but I just didn't want them, It's not so much like I was afraid of them or if there might have been something negative or even positive attached to them. It's just like I didn't like the way the doll looked. So I didn't bother. But hey, if anyone's got some creepy dolls, I'll probably take them off you. No, if anyone's got a creepy doll and they don't want it, send it to me and I would do whatever I can with them. I still want to do some deep, not so much investigations on them, but I want to try to do like Rosie's been doing, like, talking to them, doing K2 meets with them, doing EVPs with them, doing Ghost Box with them. And I will be doing that again soon, like Rosie's been doing with her ones. I just got to sort myself out a little bit because I'm having a few health issues at the moment and I'm not feeling like I normally feel sometimes. So that's why I ain't really been doing too many streams. I've been kind of like trying to set my mind on different things and trying to kind of like relax a little bit and play some online gaming. And, while I'm playing online gaming, it's kind of like drawing me from this kind of thing. Because I just don't feel like I have it in me, to be honest with you, to do too much paranormal at the moment. And I really want to get into the paranormal again. But I just don't feel that there's enough energy in here. So, I will start doing cemetery work again as soon as it starts getting better weather. And as soon as I can afford to get out and do it. And, if I bring spirits back home with me, then fine. I don't care if they're good or bad as long as they don't cause too much aggravation. And I don't get a good bollocking from Abby and Tina and Dougie. But, I think I can actually handle a certain amount of negativity. But there is, like a limit. Like, there's a breaking point like Rosie's got, she's got so much negativity there that it is causing her harm. And how she can, go through that day in and day out. People say, she's a strong woman. That I kind of disagree with. Like, she's not strong all the time. She's being attacked. She's being threatened. She's having all this like dark entities around her. She's having these shadows and all that kind of stuff. And that is pulling her down. That's drawing her down a bit. And that's why she's had to cut away from the paranormal, probably to try to like ease away from that paranormal, that negativity, and try to get her health a bit better. But it's not working. That's why she's had to take time out, and I can understand that. Now, if that happened to me, I'll probably be going through the same shit as Rose is going through at the moment. And I have gone through some of that shit in the past. Now, I've had those little mini possessions. I've been thumped, I've been scratched, I've been pushed, I've been attacked. So I know exactly how she's going through some of that shit. Just that she's had more shit thrown at her than I have. So, to be honest with you, I really would like to go up there and confront that fucking grumpy ass and just see what he would throw at me. You know, I don't want to bring him back. If he follows me back. Maybe doing that would give Rose a bit of a breather, you know, kind of thing. But any spirit, you know, as evil as they are, they won't leave you alone. They won't. You know, they may like kind of like follow someone home. So right, you know, you've come here and you think you're the hard man now, do you? Right, I'm going to follow home. I'm going to give you a load of shit, and he might give me a load of shit, but he'll still be going back to Roses and giving her shit if he's that so-called powerful. You know, he could be at two places at once and giving us both the same kind of shit. You know, and if it happens, it happens. You know, like if it happened to me, it'd be my own fucking fault for going up there and confronting the grumpy bastard. But I could go up there, I could confront him, I could call him all the names under the sun, and nothing may happen to me. And it'll probably like all fall back on Rose. You know, like you brought this fucker up, he's caused all this shit, you know, he's trying to provoke me. Fuck, I ain't going to retaliate on him. I'm going to retaliate on Rose for allowing him to come up here and provoke me. So there's that possibility, there's that chance that it could happen. So Rose is going to have to think, well, you know, if you do come up, Steve, don't provoke Grumpy, you know, just have a general conversation, which I will probably do. You know, I don't like provoking spirits. It was when I was at Pete's house, Pete Paranormal Man. Sometimes we weren't getting nothing. But as soon as Pete started provoking him, and I was saying, yeah, come on, fucking do something. Prove to me that you're here, you know. Stop being a fucking coward, you know. You've been doing all this shit, you know, when I'm not here. Prove it to me. Do it now. And suddenly, like, you know, a great big bang or something be knocked on the table or the bird cage would be banged or the wind chimes in his living room would be knocked around, or there was a time when we were sitting all on the table. I can't remember if it's on video or not, but there's me, Pete, his wife, his mum, his dad, and his son, who's also called Pete, but his nickname's Pee-wee. We was all sitting in the living room. I know me and Pete, I think it was, and his wife, and maybe his mum was all on the settee, and was just trying to like talk to the spirits, and all of a sudden the curtains just flew open behind us, and it fucking scared all of us out. Like, well, it scared the shit out of us, you know. Well, fuck, you know, we weren't expecting that. And there's a time when we're sitting there and the fucking TV gets turned on, and the remote control's actually where the TV is. And we're saying, like, you know, like we get the remote control, turn it off. And we're saying, right, if that's a spirit, let's turn that TV on, turn it on again. Prove it to us that you're a spirit. Prove there's a spirit here that can turn that TV on. And you're sitting there waiting, you think, yeah, ain't going to work. Might have just been like a timer or something. But Pete never had his TV on the timer. And you think, ain't going to happen again. Suddenly the TV will fucking turn back on. And the remote controls, you know, back where we'd put it. So the first time when the TV went off, we picked the remote control up, turned the TV off, put the remote control back again. And we're, you know, prove it you're a spirit, you know. You turn the TV on once, fucking do it again. Come on, show how powerful you are. And a few minutes later, the TV comes back on. And that particular night, that TV came on about 4 times. And not only did that happen, the fucking lights came on and off, like started flickering. Oh, fucking, you know, and then like we heard these knocks and we saw shadows and fucking crazy Pete's house was, I tell you. Fucking crazy. Now, I don't know if it's as worse than what Rose was. I don't think it was. It's probably more powerful in, like, you know, turning lights on and off and turning the TV on and off, but it wasn't as negative as like attackness, which was kind of like grateful for, but it was scary as hell, you know, because like curtains being flung open, you know, things being banged around, TV turning on and off several times, fucking lights being flicking, you know. I knew for a fact nothing there was being done as a trick or thing, yeah, because the lights, the actual switch light was in plain view. And the only way for those lights to come on was someone to put their finger on and turn it on and off. And everyone was accounted for. And those lights went on and off like crazy. So whatever was there was fucking powerful to give us that much interaction. But it wasn't negative, because I say that because we weren't being attacked. We wasn't being like pinched, scratched, thumped or anything like that. I think it's just showing how powerful it can be by doing those things, you know. And like Peter's moved from that house into another house, and I always wanted to get down to visit Peter again and do another session in his new house, because he said that his new house is also active. His daughter's house is active. But I think what he does is that he kind of like creates some of this, not in himself, but he conjures up spiritual energies. And sometimes I have good spirits and sometimes I have negative spirits. And it gets more than he expects to. You know, I've been down a couple of times and I've had to do a fucking cleansing for him. I think I've probably cleansed his house 3 times, you know, doing blessings and crossing and all that kind of stuff. Well, that's crazy. That's crazy, Joey. I'll show that. Few hidden. Few deleted. This is what Joey said, yeah, because Craig done something. And I have to move one letter. So that's what Joey said just now, yeah. And I could believe that a lot of people would have a lot of paranormal activity, you know. But some people, put it this way, some paranormal activity can be kind of like counted for and debunked, you know, like if a door suddenly starts opening. Now, you could get up and debunk that by seeing that there's a breeze, or if it might have been a pet animal that was behind the door and like tapped it. You know, I've been in the kitchen many times, yeah, with the door shut because I don't have the door; it doesn't latch. So all you got to do is just tap it with your finger and open. The cat has actually been out there when I've been in the kitchen getting the food ready, yeah, and she's kind of like got up on her paws and tried to open the door, and I've told her to fuck off out while I'm trying to do her food. So even an animal can push a door open. A breeze can push a door open. So unless you can count for where the animal is at the time, kids, you know, where they were, even if there's a breeze, that could count for like a door, kind of like opening a fraction or whatever. If you've got a heavy breeze, that's definitely going to open the door. So unless you can try and like debunk some of the stuff, you know, I've seen this door kind of move a couple of times and I've found it's the cat, or might be a breeze coming under from the main front door, you know, because sometimes that hallway can have a little bit of a breeze if the main door isn't been shut properly downstairs or the windows are open outside. Then that can cast a little bit of an underflow of cold air under the door, and that can make the door move. Now, there was a time a couple of years ago, I was in the kitchen. I think I was either cooking or making a drink or something. Yeah, I was in the kitchen, and I could hear like a door rattling. And it wasn't just the door; it's the handle. The handle. I'm thinking, what the fuck is that? So I'll come out into the kitchen, and I see the handle just fractionally like moving around. You can hear it go. So I'm standing there looking at it, and this, honestly and truly, I swear on this, yeah. I swear on the Bible on this, yeah. This is a true story. So I'm standing there in the hallway, and I can hear the door rattling. So I'm thinking, well, there ain't no cold breeze. So I stood there, watching the door. Right, if there's a spirit either in the hallway in front of me or in the living room, can you make that door rattle a little bit more? And I swear that door started rattling a little bit more. You know, instead of going, I went. So I said, right, okay, now can you make it rattle even more? And it did. It started getting louder. All right, okay. So let's just debunk this to make sure it's not a breeze coming from somewhere. I've got a cold spot on my back now. I said, just to confirm that your spirit, can you make the door rattle as hard and as loud as you can? And instead of being like quiet little rattle, went, and I thought, fuck this, and I just ran back in the kitchen. That door rattled so fucking loud. All right, okay, thank you. You don't need to do it anymore. I'm back in the kitchen, and I swear that fucking happened. Now, you know, a breeze cannot be doing that, you know, because every time I asked for that door to rattle a little bit louder, it fucking rattled a little bit louder. And when I said, can you make that door rattle as loud as you can, it rattled like, let me just do it through my door handle. I don't know if we're going to see it actually. I'll have to put the camera over here on the microphone. If I can get it standing up. Right. So it was like this kind of thing, yeah. Don't know if you can hear that. When I said, can you make it louder, he went. And I said, right, can you make it even more louder? And suddenly went. That's how it went. And I swear on that. And when it went that crazy, I fucking like, right, okay, thank you. Back in the kitchen. I went, okay, you proved your point. You don't need to do it again. And it suddenly stopped. So I asked it to stop. So that was like, you know, no way could a draft make a fucking door rattle that bad on fucking command. That was pure spiritual energy. So yeah, I have had some crazy things happen in here. You know, I even watched back a couple of times where I got punched in the back and I went flying across the room. I've watched that video time and time again. And people said, oh, you tripped over your bed. Well, I tried debunking that, yeah, and many people said, no, with the force of what happened, you did not trip over your bed. Get away, you fucking moth. I'm a moth trying to get my coffee. You know, yeah, you see me get up. I've closed the window because I felt the draft. And you know, like you see me go like this, right? But the thing was, I was near to the bed, and if I just tripped over, I'd have fell this way. But I actually fell over that way, near to the door. And it was like a violent, you know, you could see me actually like do that kind of thing, like as if someone really did fucking hit me. And like, you know, my head was about that far away from the door. That's how bad it was. And yeah, I've had scratches. I've had like on my neck, I had 3 scratches, which was like in the shape of a Z. And I've proved that, you know, on camera. And I'm not saying that's Zozo that done it. It could have been, you know, anyone with initial with a Z, like Sarah or Zoe, or, you know, could be Zozo, but I don't think it was, because Zozo would have done a shit more than that. So, you know, I have had some really crazy experiences here. You know, the dolls in the kitchen fell down for no reason at all. I've gone out there, put the doll back up. Half an hour later, the doll goes down with more of a thud. So, you know, I'm not saying the doll was in any way spiritually attached or possessed. No, it could have been a draft, but there weren't no draft at the time. What made that doll fall down is either unexplainable, or it was a spirit pushing the doll down. Maybe they're trying to pick the doll up and they didn't have the energy, and as they tried picking the doll up, it fell down. I don't know, but that was shown on video. You saw it all. I don't normally do phone calls actually, but you can. There's my number up there. My number's always shown up there. If I can get the camera up. Send me a WhatsApp or a messenger through that number. That's his phone. This is the only phone I've got now. My private number got disconnected because I can afford the bill, but that's his number. Don't do it now. But, you know, if you want to give me a text during the daytime tomorrow, fair enough. If you want to talk to me, then we arrange something on a telephone, text message. But I don't really do conversations that much. But, you know, if you want to text me and you want to phone me someday and tell me what's going on, that'd be great. You know, I can't really say that I can help you because I don't know where you live for one thing, but I might be able to advise you in some way. If you're trying to get rid of it, then I can tell you a few things in how to get rid of it. But, you know, some people will probably do, like, you know, there's been times where people said, well, look, you know, how do I get rid of this? I feel like, you know, I'm being some kind of like possessed by some kind of like demonic spirit. And, you know, some people say, well, right, you need to do this, you need to do that, and do this and do that. Now, it could work. It could get rid of the spirit in there, but it could make it even worse. Now, this is, let's just put it this way, right? It's not really good to communicate with a spirit if you don't know what you're doing. But let's say I wasn't into the paranormal, right? I wasn't never into the paranormal, and I just moved into a house, right? And it doesn't matter how long I've been in there for, a week, a month, a year, 10 years, and suddenly I start getting activity. The first thing I would try to do is try to debunk on what I'm hearing and seeing, like cold spots. Is there any windows open? Is there any cracks? Have I got any air vents? You know, I tried debunking that first, all right? Now, we do know spirits do give cold spots. So if you get in a cold spot and that cold spot's moving around, it could be something like, you know, a flow of air coming through your door or window or something, or through an air vent. But if it's always at the same location, then it could be spiritual. You know, it could be here 1 minute, could be over there next to someone else next minute, could move into the next room, it could be following you. If it's following you around, then that's possibly a spirit person, right? But I would try to debunk any cold spots. Noises, you know, taps, creaks. Well, taps. When the weather is changing, your house tends to like settle in different ways. So like, you know, things expand and disband. So like, if you got some kind of like window frame or something like that, where it just slightly expands just a fraction when it gets colder or hotter, that can make a sound. You know, you might even have, if you're hearing kind of like scurrying kind of sounds, could have mice, rats, you know, could have some kind of infestation or something, you know. So I would try to figure out what it is, whatever I'm hearing, and seeing. I'll try to debunk it. Like if you've seen shadows, you know, where's that shadow coming from? Do you have like lights outside, you know, street lights? And when someone walks past, does it cause a shadow as if someone's like walking through past your room? What if a car, if you ain't got street lights, what if a car's coming past? You know, someone could be walking out past your house when a car comes past at night time and it casts a shadow. Or TV's on and it's a dark room and someone walks past the TV and you don't realise that someone's walked past, and you see like a reflection in the TV, or it might cast a shadow from the TV, you know, the actual glimmer of the TV, you know, like the brightness of the TV can cause shadows, all that kind of stuff, you know. Voices, what if you're hearing voices? Could it be someone in your house that is talking? Could it be a neighbour talking next door loudly? You know, you've got to try to debunk things. And if you can't, if it's something that you can't debunk, then it could possibly be spiritual, paranormal. Now, if you've got something on your table and it flips over, why is it flipped over? You know, like, was the cup wet underneath and it just kind of slipped? If it flipped over, well, why the hell did it flip over? That, I think, could most possibly be a spirit trying to interact with you. Now, the way I would do this, right, is that, as I said, if I just moved in and I wouldn't get all this activity, and I could not debunk any of this stuff, what I would probably do is, and I think it could be a little bit dangerous in one way, but, you know, I've always said, well, look, why is it suddenly got active now when it hasn't been active all that time? Is it because the spirit is trying to communicate with you? Is it trying to warn you about something? Is it trying to pass on a message? Is it trying to scare the shit out of you? You know, you don't know. So what I would probably do myself would say, look, I'll sit there one day and I'll just open up and say, look, right, okay, I don't know if there's any spirits in this house or not, but what you're doing is a little bit frightening and I'm not too keen on this. But, you know, if you lived here before I did and you died in this house, I can understand that it was your house. And, you know, if we can come to some kind of arrangement, I don't mind you being in a certain room and having that room as your domain. And I won't come in there as much as I can, you know. I'll only come in there when I need to. And I'll possibly, like, will have to come in there time to time. And I will let you know when I'm going to come in there, just to show you that with a little bit of respect, you know, because it is now my house, you know, it's not your house anymore. But, you know, if you are willing to let me live here in peace and harmony, you know, I will give you that respect and I won't get rid of you, you know, I'll leave you alone, you leave me alone, you know, come to terms. But if you do start causing me grief, aggravation, then I'll have no, well, I'll just probably have to take steps in getting rid of you. And that'd be meaning like getting you exorcised by a priest or a bishop or something. So, like, you know, you want to come to terms, you want to, you know, like just, if you just want to be here because it was your home before, you know, leave me alone, I'll leave you alone, and that's it. I'm done with. And, you know, I'd even probably like offer it a token of respect, like an ornament or something. So, look, you know, this is an ornament for you to show you, you know, that I'm respecting you, but you need to respect me. And sometimes spirits like that, kind of like consideration and the respect that you're giving them, and they might consider like, well, okay, we come to terms, and you might not do any more stuff. You know, you might not get all this activity that you may be getting, but you know, you might get a spirit that's, you know, really grumpy and arsey and thinking, no, this is my fucking house. You know, I want you out. You fuck off. You know, I'm not leaving. I'm not going to take your terms. And you might suddenly like get a bit more, or she might get a bit more violent, you know. You know, if you've got that poltergeist activity, that is a very strong spiritual entity, or it could also be that if you've been going through a lot of stress and depression and anxiety, you've built up your own kind of like spiritual energy that you've released that you don't realize you've released. And it's not like a physical being that once roamed on this earth, but it's something that you've created and you've released, and it's giving you that poltergeist stuff, you know, where things are being moved, thrown, and all that kind of stuff. But it could also be a spirit that's doing it as well. You know, someone might have even conjured up something dark and negative before you moved in there. Someone might have had seances and, you know, black magic and all that kind of stuff, and conjured up a dark entity, and it's, you know, don't want you there, and it's causing all this shit. Could be a number of things, you know. So, yeah, if it gets too bad, like Rose said, you better have some running shoes, because, like, if it gets that bad, you will be running. So, yeah. So I've been doing this 6 years now. So, like, you know, I have been attacked. I've been, like, partially possessed, you know, 3 times. I've had emotional outbreaks when I've been doing sessions. You know, I've had kind of like weird sessions where I've been like kind of happy and chirpy, you know, kind of thing, more happy than I've ever been before. And that ain't like me, you know. I'm usually just like a normal kind of guy, but sometimes I do feel like damn stressed, depressed, because I have been going through shit over the last few years, you know, health-wise and financial-wise, and also like fucking cyberbullied and all that shit. So, you know, I do get those mixed feelings, just like anyone does. But we have to like kind of bear in grudge it, I suppose. Like, you know, it happens, it happens. If we can get things sorted out, we sort it out. If we can't, then it just builds up on us and makes us even more fucking stressed and depressed. And where you're building all that stress and depressed up, and you're not releasing it by doing certain things, you know, in your life, like tasks, going out, doing activity, hobbies, or something like that. If you keep all that stress and depression in and that anxiety, you are going to create your own kind of like energy where it's going to create poltergeist energy, poltergeist stuff, where you are getting things moved around. Now, I'm not saying that's ever going to happen to me, but, you know, things have happened here before, right? But I think that's more spiritual, not like poltergeist. Well, it's poltergeist as in spiritual poltergeist, but not poltergeist as in like, you know, through the stress and anxiety and depression kind of stuff. Now, I've sat here and my mouse was on the table over there. It's the mouse to my DVR, and it just got picked up and thrown at me physically like that. In the living room, when I was doing a session in there, doing a Ouija board session, a golf ball that was on my side table near the door physically got thrown at me. Now, I got up and I tried debunking that. You know, I was knocking the ball down, and all we'd done was like bounce once, twice. Now, before I debunked it, that ball kind of like was pushed so hard that it went further as a bounce and hit me. But when I tried debunking it, it just fell practically flat down one, and that's it. The way that golf ball hit me was like crazy. I've had vibrations on the bed, which I can't explain. It could be like dreams, night terrors, you know. But I've had cold spots on the bed. I've seen shadow flying around everywhere. You know, I've actually seen orbs like anomalies. And yeah, it can be scary sometimes, but I've kind of like got used to it. You know, if I see a shadow, I don't even acknowledge it. I just like, so shadow. See an orb, I might say, hi spirit. But sometimes, I ain't done it lately, but usually when I go to bed, I'll do a quick prayer. I say, all right, good night, everyone. God bless. Love you all. Keep safe. Make sure no harm comes to us. Keep away all the negative, evil, demonic spirits. Cast down that love and light and protection. And I'll see you in the morning. And I used to also do like the Lord's Prayer before I used to go to bed, but I don't do that anymore because I'm now used to what's going on in here. And not a lot's happening in there at the moment. But it don't mean that it could probably erupt at any time. Not erupt as in like violent, but it could get like it was 2 years ago where I used to get so much activity. You know, people used to say, hey, your bedroom's like Orb City. We had so many orbs flying around in here, it was crazy. I did upload a video just the other day where it's on my DVR. And the bloody orb flying around here was crazy, man. Crazy. Anyway, I'm going to go to bed in a minute. It's 1:30. But yeah, as long as it's not harming you, it's probably like, if it is like poltergeist activities, probably either trying to let you know it's there and to acknowledge it, say, yeah, okay, look, I know you're here. Fair enough. No, we're not going to get rid of you as long as you leave us alone. And maybe it might kind of like ease up. But once you do acknowledge it, and if it is like dark, evil, and probably demonic, and you've acknowledged it, it could erupt even more. So you've got to kind of be careful, really. If you do acknowledge it and it does get bad, then you need to get a priest in and do like a house blessing. Some people do their own house blessings, but if they don't know exactly what they're doing, it could, again, make things even more worse. So for that, you would probably have to get a priest in so he could do a proper house blessing, and that might get rid of it, but it might even, again, upset it and cause more aggravation. But normally with a priest, you know, 8 out of 10, it normally gets rid of whatever's in there. But I don't know, you know, if it's a good spirit and he does a blessing, it may move on that spirit. It may not, you know, because that spirit might be there for a certain reason. But it will move on bad, negative demonic spirits. But good spirits, if they wish to stay, they'll stay. Because, like, you know, if they believe in God, then I was pretty sure they're saying, well, you know, the guy's here to do a blessing. God's allowed me to stay here, and, you know, I'm pretty sure that God ain't going to move me over if I don't want to go. But with a demonic spirit, an evil spirit, I normally do go 8 out of 10 times. But you got to 2 out of 10 times where it might piss them off even more. They might move on for a little while, come back, and give you a shitload of revenge. But not all the time can a priest get rid of them, because like Rose has had a priest there and it never got rid of them. So I don't know what Rose is doing. I'll tell you one thing, Rose, yeah, if you don't hurry up and send that fucking like postal thing down, you ain't going to get your ghost boxes. I'm going to keep the fuckers. And where's these police buttons you're going to send me? Those radios are still in that box down now. And if you don't hurry up and send that fucking form, I know you're ill, but if you don't send that form within the next 2 months, 8 weeks, you're not going to fucking get them back. I'm going to keep them. So I've had them like fucking 3-4 months now, and I could have used them, and I didn't. I know you said I could use them, but I didn't want to open the box. So when you get time, get that bloody postal thing sorted out. I've got my printer working. I know you're ill. I know you've had shit happening. I know you ain't had time to do shit. But you got time to do your fucking videos. You got time to bloody get a form sorted out for me. Right. Well, I'm going to fuck off now, guys. I'm getting tired. I may do a stream on Tuesday. Can't do on Monday. So I've got to go up early Tuesday morning to go out to the job centre. But Tuesday night, I may do a ghost box session, EVP. Might do a Ouija board, I don't know yet. Might have a few dolls in here, so we can communicate with some of the dolls. This one, I'll leave him in here tonight, but I know he's never active. Because when I bought him, there weren't no spiritual attachments to him. I bought him because I liked it. And I said to any spirits, if you wish to like attach yourself to it, do so. And I think either Dexter or Leonard was going to attach themselves to it, but I think Dexter wanted the little soldier doll, so I bought him a soldier doll. Leonard said he may attach himself to this one. He said he did at one time, but then he came off, and he said he's like back and forwards. So if we ever do get K2 meter hits, it might be Leonard, might not, you know, because I very, very rarely I'll get any K2 hits on this one. They had a small doll in here. We might have her in here again one night. She's supposed to be like a serial killer, you know. She's like murdered 3-4 husbands. She killed her kids. She killed her butler and maid, all for insurance money. She killed other men that apparently she buried in her attic. She apparently meant to have like done a child sacrifice. She was hung for a crime. But she reckons she done other stuff which she's going to let us know about. But when I'm going to bring her out next, I don't know yet. Might bring her out later in the week, if not, maybe next week. But, yeah, we definitely, you know, I'll still definitely do at least 1 or 2 streams a week. I want to start getting back to doing some of the cemetery work. I'll have to speak to Aaron during the week, find out when he's going to come down next. So I really want to get back and do Wimbledon Common, Windmill, and I want to go, like he said, he wants to go to that cemetery over at Croydon, which is near Shooters Hill, get and do that again. So hopefully he might get something sorted out. I know he said he's going back to work, but if we can do at least those two before he does go back to work, that'd be cool, because I'm looking forward to doing it. And I'm pretty sure he'd be looking forward to doing it himself, because that is a big bloody cemetery. We had to creep in because where we got in, there's a hole in the fence, and I'm hoping they ain't fucking repaired it. But where we came in, there's a building next to it, and they got CCTV cameras, so we had to kind of creep around, keep away from the CCTV cameras, and we couldn't do the lower part of the cemetery because of the building and the CCTV cameras. We had to go around the back where the big soldier statue is. We done that, and we walked along around that wooded area bit, which is fucking creepy. We done that. Then we went over to the children's part, and I'm sitting there reading a book. Well, not a book. I was trying to make up stories. There wasn't no book. I was making up stories, and the spirit came through the ghost box, said, "Steve, you suck," as in reading stories. But we also got, "Thank you, Stephen, good story," and a few other EVPs, something like that anyway. So we'd probably try to get a book to take with us so we can read to the kids. Cemetery part. We was there a couple of hours actually. We would have stayed a bit longer, but as I said, we started seeing shadows flying around, and it kind of disturbed us a little bit, and we didn't want anything dark and negative to come and attack us and do nasty shit. So we decided okay, we better leave. So we left. And that ain't the only place we found dark shadows flying around. We had dark shadows which Aaron saw, and even I saw them, and I think Warren saw them at Dartford Cemetery where my cousin Kevin and my uncle Reggie is buried, and they're both buried in the same plot, one on top of each other. And we saw shadows flying around in that area. But what I want to do, is like what we did in Dartford Cemetery. If we can get Warren to come with us, I've got a new pair of walkie-talkies because the other one broke. Where I've done with them, I'm not sure. They're probably over there somewhere. But I have got a new set of walkie-talkies somewhere. And we should do what we did last time. One of us sit on the bench on our own, doing the ghost box, EVP, while the other two just walks around, probably a couple of 100 yards away, no more than that, because if anything happens, then they need to get back to whoever's doing it on their solo bit, because I feel that you should never be left alone without anyone else there that can get to you quickly. Because if you do get attacked, then you've got someone there. Because it's not so much being attacked by a spirit. You might be attacked by a fucking rabid fox or something, or some fucking weird stranger might be walking along pissed out of his brain and he's going to rob you and mug you and sexually assault you or some bullshit like that, kind of thing. So it's always best to do a paranormal investigation with at least 2 or 3 other people. And if it's just 2 people, you shouldn't be more than 100 meters, 200 meters away from each other. I know if you're talking, it can be kind of contaminating the EVPs, I suppose. You're doing EVP recording, but if you've got a walkie-talkie and say, okay, you can be quiet for 2 minutes, I'm going to do an EVP. As soon as he says, yeah, okay, over, then you can do UP. And the only time you're going to speak is if he has to key up because he's seen something crazy or he's been attacked or whatever, or being chased through the graveyard by some dark, menacing shadow creature. And Simon James had that happen when me and Simon James did the cemetery, the different cemetery in Croydon. We heard some like noises in the bush, and Simon went to look, and he saw something dark, and it scared the shit out of him. I thought it was funny actually, but no, Simon didn't think it was funny. And Simon doesn't scare that easy. So, but I think I'll tell you right, yeah, I think the most funniest one. Now, Aaron is not gonna agree to this, but the funniest one, yeah, is when we was over at Stratton Common. We're walking down this long, kind of like wide pathway, and I've got like 4 or 5 gadgets in my hand, and Aaron hears like a snap right beside him, and he starts running, and I'm trying to chase after him, saying, stop running, don't let them see your fear, stop running. And I'm trying to like run with holding my gadgets in my hand, hoping that I won't drop them. And I'm going, you fucking wuss, you're like a little girl. He goes, you didn't hear that snap right beside me. I said, maybe it was an animal. He goes, no bloody animal. He goes, that was like, I think that was a ghost. It was really funny because I've never seen him run so fucking fast in my life, man. And I'm fucking laughing my head off. But it was like, very dark, and maybe it was a spirit, because if it was an animal, right, you wouldn't have heard just one snap. You would have heard like several snaps. But this was like what Aaron said, a really big loud snap right next beside him. So, I can understand him being afraid and running down the fucking pathway, but leaving me like half a mile behind with all my gadgets in my hands, he could have stopped and said, hey Steve, hang on, before I start running, let me carry some of your gadgets and we both run together kind of thing. But it never happened. Like, he heard the snap and whoop. What are you running for? Did you hear that? No. Did you hear that fucking snap? No. So he stuck right beside me. It was right in his ear. So, like, it was quite funny, though. I think that's the most funniest thing I've ever seen in my life, actually, when he's running down the fucking pathway, leaving me behind with all my gadgets in my hand, hoping I won't drop them all. Because if that was something spiritual, yeah, and it scared him, how do I know that he couldn't have, like, done it to me and scared the shit out of me? I could have dropped all my gear and ran down and left my gear behind. And, like, leaving my gear behind, that would have been, like, 200-300 quid's worth of gear. And I wasn't going to leave that behind. No fucking way. And that's the same, kind of near the same location. Me and Simon done that video. I can't remember what it's called now. But I was dressed up as the Slender Man in his video. I can't remember what it was. Ian's usually good at it, finding that kind of stuff. But yeah, that was funny though. I shouldn't laugh, but we'll have to go back there, Aaron, and see if we hear that snap again. We'll have to walk up that pathway, not down, walk up that this time. Walk up the pathway and into the forest instead of come out the forest and down the pathway. We got to go there and show no fear. And once we go there and show no fear, no fucker's going to fuck with us. Not a ghost, an animal, or human being. We're going to go there and act tough. Fuck, are we? No, we will. We got to go back there, man. Because that is the place where we was in the tennis courts. Not far from there, actually. On video, we got something going through the fence. It's like a shadow, kind of like apparition. He actually walks through the fence and goes down towards the gate. And like, it's really weird because we couldn't figure out what it was until we had watched it a few times. it weren't no human because it actually walked through the fence and down towards the gate. Really weird. So, yeah, we've had some good experiences there. Got to do Wimbledon Common though. Definitely got to do Wimbledon Common. And this time we're going the way I fucking know, so we won't get lost. And we will get to do the windmill. Because, you know, even though we didn't get much there last time in Simon, now when I was taking those photos in those windows, it really did look like a boy's face peering out the window. And we went there the second time, and Simon actually got the camera and zoomed in, and we was able to debunk it. It wasn't a boy, it was a mannequin. But the mannequin, you know, even though we got the photos of the mannequin, there was still stuff kind of like above the mannequin which we couldn't kind of like figure out. It really did look like there was people in there, and it weren't mannequins. But the first one I caught, which I thought was a spirit child, was debunked to be a mannequin. So we've got to do that. Rachel, that's the girl, isn't it? If you haven't seen the Wimbledon Common ones, yeah, you need to watch those because they're really interesting. Because a young lady by the name of Rachel got killed and raped there about 30 years ago. And when we first went there, me and Aaron was asking to give us EVPs, like, you know, shout out your name. And we got her name 3 times. First it went like, Rachel. Then it went like, Rachel. Then it's more kind of like quiet, going, Rachel. And it's all like, you know, sounds like the female voice. And not only that, we thought we heard like the head of this horseman galloping. But we think we were able to debunk that because although we didn't see it at first, we heard it and we called out, you know, because like, that's crazy. You know, we think we just heard the horse galloping. And it really did sound like a horse galloping. And we saw this like figure go past. So we kind of walked down. We called out in case we thought it might have been a human. We got no reply. But we went down to the junction, it's like a T junction. We turned up the road part where we saw this figure go flying up. And like we shone our torch, we couldn't see no one in front of us. And we don't, you know, only just saw it, you know, so where it went, we don't know. So like we carried on walking, and then all of a sudden this fucking figure comes rushing at us, and it's a woman, a proper woman, jogging. And we were like fucking talking to her and asking her why she's jogging at night time. And she said she prefers to do it at night time because she was, I think she said that she was attacked during the daytime at one time in a different location. So if I'm right, she moved down towards Wimbledon and she runs at night time, you know, like 11, 12 o'clock at night. And we said, don't it scare you? She goes, no, I've had no problems. I said, well, you know that this place is supposed to be very haunted. Well, maybe so, you know, like, she don't believe in ghosts, but her husband or boyfriend or whoever it was does believe in the paranormal, more UFO kind of stuff. But it doesn't bother her, you know, she'll run through those fucking like wooded areas whenever she wants. And like, I reckon she probably thought we was a pair of nutters, you know, kind of thing, doing a paranormal. But, you know, after we told her a few things, she kind of like, well, maybe there is something there, maybe there isn't, but we didn't really change her mind, but we got her thinking, I think. But that kind of like, after we heard that galloping kind of thing, we saw that white figure, we think it might have been her. So we was considering debunking that. But the Rachel, we definitely heard Rachel. We had a lot of K2 hit meters, K2 meter hits down on the bench before we got Rachel's name being called. You know, we were saying, Rachel, if you're here, can you make the K2 meter go off? And it was going crazy, left, right, and centre. And it wasn't just one K2 meter, we was using 2. So, you know, we was getting a lot of activity at Wimbledon Common. See, the problem with around here, I will be going to bed in a minute, by the way. You know what I'm like when I start, I can't stop. With the commons around here, it's a bit really weird. What I mean by really weird is Wimbledon Common is known to be for murders. Like, you know, many people have been murdered at Wimbledon Common. Now, Stretton Common, there hasn't been really known to be hardly any murders there or any kind of like suicides there. Maybe there has, maybe there hasn't. I've tried researching, but I've not found that much about Wimbledon Common. But we've got activity there, just like we've got with Wimbledon Common activity. Now, with Clapham Common, which is the nearest one to me, that's been known to be for suicides, hanging, overdoses, drowning. Although the drowning one was Leonard, which was an accident, but it's all like proper kind of like either accidental deaths or suicides. And that's what I can't understand. I don't know, it's because of the ley lines around near me or something, but why would one common be known for like murders, another common be known for suicides, another common could be possible mixture? Don't make sense. So if anyone knows why it could be that, you know, it could be like certain energies on ley lines around those areas. I don't know, but if you've got any kind of like ideas, no, because like a lot of the people who got murdered have always gone to like been in the wrong time, wrong place over at Wimbledon Common. Now, people who want to kill themselves have always ended up in Mitcham Common, and either they live close to Mitcham Common or they lived within like a 5-mile radius of Mitcham Common. Now, I'm not saying Wimbledon Common hasn't had suicides there, but it's more known to be a lot of like murders there. Like, you know, Rachel, an old lady got murdered there. A young man got murdered over, you know, several people got murdered over there. Different stories, you know, just got to research it. The more recent one was the guy at Mitcham Common. He took an overdose of drugs and alcohol because his wife died several years ago, and you know he couldn't be without her. So he told his family that he was going to visit one of his girlfriends, and they hadn't heard from him for a couple of days. And they said, like, you know, they rang up and said, have you seen him? No, I haven't seen him. Now, apparently this guy had always lived near Mitcham Common. He even grew up on Mitcham Common. He camped out on Mitcham Common. He cooked on Mitcham Common, like bonfires. He had like little parties, you know, like drinking parties with his buddies on Mitcham Common. And one day he decided to go over there. He took a load of like drugs and alcohol. He passed out. Then they reckon that he must have crawled the wrong direction, because if he'd crawled one way, he would have got back to the main road, which was probably about 100 yards away from him. But what he'd done is he crawled the opposite way and went around like a little bend and got underneath these trees and just died. And it's a day later that a couple of like jippos, homeless people, were walking along and they saw something in the trees and they went to investigate and they saw the guy laying there dead. So when I heard about it, we did try to go and do like a little investigation. We didn't get nothing. Me and Steve Cooper went there. We didn't get much there, but one day I was doing a Ouija board and suddenly this guy comes through saying it was him. He told me where he died, so I just went there and laid the crucifix, like crossing chain, and left it on the tree. And I want to go back there and see if it's still there. And he told me, exactly where he died. So I put a crucifix on a tree, roughly where he told me he died. So I'd be interested to find out if that's still there. So I might go down there during the week, take the camcorder, take a K2 meter, ghost box, and do a little session on the common again. So I ain't done that for about a year, I don't think. So, I do want to get out and do some more stuff on my own. Cemetery work, common work. I may even go to Clapham Common and do a little session over there. There's been a few stories about people drowning in the lakes over there and being murdered. I was there one particular day doing magnet fishing, my other hobby. I'd done the boating lake and I was coming back to do the main fishing lake, but in between you got a smaller fishing lake. And I was like in two minds if I wanted to do it or not. And I thought, screw it, I'll do half hour. Now, if I hadn't done that half an hour, I'd have been walking past the common near the wooded area, and I may or may not have seen someone trying to commit suicide. It's only because I stopped at that river, I didn't know. But some guy was walking his dog, and his dog ran into the wooded area and started barking and yelping. The guy walked in, trying to find out what's happening, and there's a guy hanging in the tree. Now, he called emergency services, and while I was at the lake, I could hear the emergency services going past. I thought, someone's had an accident or something. So, they came and they was able to resuscitate him. So he could have been laying there or hanging there that long, or maybe he didn't put the rope around himself properly. Maybe he just kind of just went unconscious or something. But the ambulance service came down and they was able to resuscitate him and take him away to the hospital. Now the police actually cornered that bit off with the taping. So I didn't know anything about this until I started walking past about half an hour later. I saw the police I thought, what's going on? I wonder what's going on here. I thought, I ain't going to ask, maybe drugs or something, or shooting, or somewhat weird shit. And I walked over to the main fishing lake and I started talking to the guy, one of the fishing buddies, and I said, what's happening over there? Then he goes, some guy tried committing suicide. Yeah. Really? I said, I was actually going to park. When was this? I don't know, about half an hour ago. Oh, what the fuck? I said, I was going to walk past it about half an hour ago, but I decided to stop at the other lake. Now, if I hadn't stopped at the other lake, maybe I might have seen him because, he wasn't that far in. It's only because a dog walker was alerted by his dog, and his dog, started yelping. And the guy saw the guy, the dog owner saw the guy hanging there. Now, even if I hadn't stopped at the lake, it don't mean that I would have seen the body or seen the guy hanging there. So I might not even been looking in the bushes or in the trees. I might have just carried on and looked in front of me. But it has been known for a few people commit suicide over at Clapham Common. Stabbings, suicides, murders, drowning. So I might try to do that as well sometime. So my plans in the future, I know the weather's getting a bit better now. We've had our snow. Hopefully we don't get any more snow. Is to try and do a cemetery at least once every week or couple of weeks. I really want to get back down to Garrett Lane, St George's Hospital, and do that one. See old little Harry, I think his name was Harry or Henry. left him some toys down there. I've got to take him some more stuff down there. So when I first went down there, I got an EVP. Second time I went down there with my bike, I had another EVP from the same little boy's face saying, I like your bike. When I went back there next time, I said, who said I like my bike? I've got the name. Then the fourth time I went down there, I looked around the graves and I actually found the little boy headstone with that name there. So I want to get, and I left him some toys and stuff. So I want to get back and do that one. I've got some cemeteries just around the corner, but one's a Jewish one, and I've had crazy responses out of that one. Just check out the Jewish cemetery video if you haven't seen that one. Crazy. Ghostbox and Echo Fox, crazy responses on that. So Summerchurch, St George's, Mitcham Common. If Aaron gets his arse up here, we do Wimborne Common and possibly that Croydon Cemetery. There's a couple little parts we can do Andrew Swill, which he knows two of, but I found another two little parks we could probably just have a walk around. Now, one of the new ones that he hasn't been to, I just got my courage to go out one night, and I was walking around doing an EVP, and I heard a whistle, actually physically, like a disembodied whistle, and it got recorded as well. And it was just like someone going, and there weren't no one there. There weren't no dogs, no one walking about. I got that whistle and it was really close. So I want to take him there, see we're getting the activity there. And I've got an idea exactly where I got that. Well, I know exactly where I got that EVP. Still need to go over to that other one where we got a high EMF. I want to see if we still get high EMF over there as well. And then we can just work on from that. And when you get back to work, if you do get any days off, we'll try to arrange at least one day when you're back at work, and when you're not working, maybe sort something out if you're up and willing for it. Right, I'm going to shut up. It's 2 o'clock. I'm going to go to bed. I forgot about the doll sitting there. Jesus, man. Although I saw it on the screen, I'm just sitting there. I turn around and fucking see the doll sitting. I thought, whoa, fucking hell. Scared me own self then. I ain't taking him back in there. I'll leave him in here tonight. Got his DVRs running, so if he does start getting up and trying to walk over to me, he'll be videoed. Right, I'm going to go. It's 2 o'clock. Cheers for watching, guys. Appreciate your time. Share, like, subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Click the little bell so you get notifications. And I'll probably see you maybe Tuesday night, if not Wednesday. I will do one during the week. What night? I don't know. Probably Tuesday or Wednesday. Maybe Wednesday. I don't know yet. If you got me on notifications, you'll hopefully get to know when. And if you don't, then if I'm doing a live stream like this and it's like where you ain't got a 30-second delay and it's like 2-second delay, it doesn't actually get posted straight away. It takes about 5-10 minutes because I have to share it out through Google Plus and Facebook and Twitter. And sometimes I don't actually talk until 5 minutes later because it allows people to come in and get ready. So, cheers for watching. Catch you later. Good night. God bless. And don't let the bed bugs bite. Bye for now. And Aaron, I'll catch you on Facebook during the week. Yeah, sort something out about if you're coming up or not. And I'll try to get hold of Rose as well and find out if we can do any stuff down there or up there. All right, catch you later.